So when you plant these seeds into the mind of your prospect, now they start to think, oh, wow, okay, I need to work with this person because he sounds different to everybody else. If you feel like there's nothing special about your agency or your offer, then I've got 5 things that you can implement today that are going to make you stand out. Now, I've been building and selling AI automation since before ChatGPT came out. So I've been selling this stuff when nobody was doing it and today when a lot of people are doing it. So I know what the differences are and I know what it takes to make you stand out and look like an agency that has the secret sauce that nobody else has. How to be the type of agency that makes businesses feel confident that you're the right person for the job. And before we jump in, if you like what you're hearing throughout the video, then the top link in the description is going to take you to my free school community, which you can join to learn how to start and scale an AI automation agency from ground zero. So if you want to learn from a 4-time award-winning AI automation agency owner, then you can pause the video, go apply to the school community. By the time the video is done, hopefully you are approved and then you can start learning within the classroom tab, which looks something just like this. And I've got way more amazing sales tips and strategies inside of there, so I'll see you inside. All right, you can't see it, but I've got my trusty laptop here, so let's jump into the video. How to differentiate your automations and systems from other agencies and solutions offering the exact same thing. So now everybody is kind of offering the same thing. You can see people are offering voice AI receptionists and these agentic workflows and things like that, right? Speed to lead agents, CRM setups. But one thing you need to understand, and a lot of this is going to be psychological for you, is that clients do not buy automations. Otherwise, they would just buy the cheapest one that they see. What they buy is solutions that feel built for them. They want to know that the voice receptionist that you're building, you are the one who's going to personalize it and put the most amount of attention into it. Now, this is contrary to what everyone does. They sell copy-paste workflows. They do set it and forget it automations where they don't even care about the client. They just want to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money. What this means is that there's no strategy, there's no understanding of the client's business model, and there's no outcome thinking. You're not thinking about what is the impact this voice receptionist is going to make? What are the implications of me actually putting it in? The results of this is that clients are going to churn. They're not going to be happy with you. They don't value the work that you're doing because if it's a simple generic copy-paste solution, then they're like, there's no effort being put into this. And this is the reason why your prices stay low. The reason why my firm can charge so much more than yours is because we have that attention to detail. We have that care that goes into it because we understand what the client wants and how to personalize it to their system. So what do the clients actually want? This is very important. Clients want outcomes. They don't want workflows. They don't want AI. They don't want systems. Honestly, they couldn't care less about AI. The purpose of a voice AI receptionist is to do what? To solve problems. Which problems? To stop missed calls coming in, from getting more appointments booked on the calendars, to actually have better speed to lead and more consistency, and to actually save money from not having to pay a human receptionist. These are outcomes. These are outcomes as a result of the system we're putting in. They're not buying an AI voice receptionist to brag to their friends that they have an AI answering the phone. They couldn't care less. It doesn't matter to them. All they care about is those outcomes that I just told you about. Next, they care about competitive advantage. How will this help me win against my competition? Everything in business is competition. They're trying to be better. They're trying to take customers away from there. They're trying to get more market share, right? So you need to position it that way inside of your pitch, inside of your proposals. This is how you're going to beat your customers. This is how you are going to win their business because you are going to respond. This is how you're going to win business because you're going to be the first person that responds. Your customers are going to go to voicemail, they're going to go to missed calls, but you are going to actually be able to answer the phone and book directly on the calendars. You are going to start moving higher on the rankings of Google because I'm going to implement my reputation management system that's going to get you more reviews. Now that makes sense to them. Oh, they want to be number one on Google. They want to be an industry leader. I'm now appealing to the competitive side of their brain, which is extremely important. The next thing that they want are systems that integrate into the way that they already do business. Now, this is a big mistake that some people make, is that they make it seem like the solution that they're about to implement is going to take so much work. It sounds like too much work in the eyes of the client. There's too much friction. If you're trying to sell them on a Go High Level or a Hexo and a voice agent, and then you're suggesting that they move over from their CRM, from HubSpot or Salesforce into your CRM, that sounds like something they don't want to do. No one wants to do a big migration. Nobody wants to have to deal with all the implications that follow with that. So they would rather just say, you know what, I don't care about this. I don't want it. You're adding too much friction in your sales process. When I'm talking to a client and I'm writing a proposal, the only thing in my mind is how can I make this seem easy to them? that there's not a lot of work that they have to go through, that this isn't going to be a nightmare for them. I'm paying very close attention to the friction of the deal. And next, they want automations that actually generate revenue, not just save time. And if you followed my content at all or my course, you know that all we care about are revenue generating automations. How do we get ROI for the business owner? They don't care that you can save them a couple hours a week. That's not what they pay for. That's not what they're going to open their wallet for. And I know that after doing 1,000+ projects, 90% of them were all ROI based. How can I get you more leads, conversions, bookings, and more customers through the door? That's all they care about. Now, this is a very important segment. This is 5 ways to differentiate your systems, and I want you to pay attention here because these are going to help you actually stand out. So number one is contextualize your automations. Show that you understand their business model. So what I mean by this is don't just say, hey, when I implement my voice AI receptionist, it's going to help you get more customers. That customers word, that's generic. That's a lack of context. What you want to say is if you're talking to a gym, you're going to say, I'm going to help you get more members, more subscriptions, more personal training clients. You want to speak in terms of their language. It's a small thing, but it shows that you understand their world and what you've built is for them. You are their person. So say, hey, I'm going to run a reactivation for you for old members based on class history and goal tracking. That is a very specific solution. Next is strategic naming and framing. This is a very important one, and this is something I've used throughout my entire career. Instead of saying something generic like, hey, we do lead follow-up automations and we help you respond to leads faster. No. You want to say, I've got a fast 5 touchpoint system, or I've got my proprietary speed to lead engine. It's the exact same thing, but it's marketing and semantics that you've put on it that make it seem like you've got something nobody else has. Now they're thinking, oh, he's got this system. What is this system? No one else has talked about a system before. Everyone's offering me a speed to lead agent. This sounds like something unique. Now, what this does is this adds perceived value through branded frameworks, which is very important. You know who does this really well? Sales books. There's so many sales books out there with all their own frameworks and methodologies like spin selling, the Sandler rules, the challenger sale, gap selling, snap selling. If you actually read these books, they're all saying the same thing. They're all the same frameworks. All they've done is just repackage it and made it like it's proprietary. Like they've literally just put their own branding and their own design on it, and it made it seem like some revolutionary thing. They all say the same thing. It's crazy, but this is a perfect example of perceived value. And now these books have got cult-like followings of people who swear by them, and they're all just, arguing about nothing. They all believe the same stuff. So that's what you need to do for your framework. Number 3 is you bundle it with outcomes. You don't want to just be a pure automation guy. You want to pair your automations with strategy calls, with templates, with onboarding guides, with check-ins. You want to make it feel like a full system end to end. You're not just giving them a workflow and forgetting about them. You're providing them extra ammunition or extra support to help them achieve whatever outcome they're looking for. So you sell it as a system to increase revenue, not a tech feature. The next thing I want you to do is layer in proprietary data and proprietary frameworks. So for example, if you're building a voice AI receptionist, what goes into that voice AI? What's the main factor? It's the prompt, right? It's how it's written, plus the voices and the knowledge base and things like that. So what can you make that's proprietary? Well, you can say, we have a proprietary framework that we use to write the prompt that is the brain of this voice AI. And nobody else has that same framework that we have, which allows us to create these unique and amazing sounding receptionists. So when you plant these seeds into the mind of your prospect, now they start to think, oh, wow, okay, I need to work with this person because he sounds different to everybody else. So try and be proprietary wherever you can. The proprietary softwares that we use, our proprietary frameworks, our prompt writing systems, our proprietary agents that we have working behind the scenes. The engineers that we have do things in a unique way that nobody else does. Factor this into your branding and your messaging and your sales calls and the way that you speak. Number 5 is client-facing dashboards and reports. This is something where all other agencies are falling short in terms of visibility. What does visibility mean? It means having insight and awareness about what is happening in the system that you built. I'll give you an example. When you have a voice AI receptionist, it's making calls all day, but it's working behind the scenes. They need visibility into how many calls were taking place, what was the outcome of those calls, what are the objections, what needs to be improved. You can do this by creating custom dashboards using the built-in dashboards in something like Hexona or Go High Level. And the beauty of this is that it helps you justify your value, especially on a retainer. You can remind them on a monthly ongoing basis that look at the impact we're making for you. Look how much money you're getting because of my system, how much you would not have had if you weren't using the system that we are doing right now. This is a constant ROI reminder. This is how you negate churn. People cancel because they're like, why am I paying this person? What's even going on? What is the value that I'm getting? If this is in their face, then it's undisputable. They know that, hey, if I cancel this service, I'm losing everything that this dashboard says. And that hurts. And that's a tough decision to make. And that's why your customers will stay with you. So in your sales calls, mention that you have dashboards like this, that you are going to give them visibility. That gives them peace of mind because they're worried about every other agency they spoke to. They didn't mention dashboards. How am I going to know they're going to do a good job? So very important to keep that in mind. So how can you apply this today? So one is audit your current workflows, your products, your offerings, and see where can I add something proprietary in there? Where can I change the branding or the semantics? Where can I make it seem like it has a higher perceived value? Then bundle your offer with some sort of add-on that helps achieve that outcome, like a strategy session with you or consulting or something extra that they get, which they wouldn't get with somebody else. Then what you want to do is turn your best automation into a flagship system. So similar to what I was saying, but add its own name, its own offer page, case studies, make everything centered around this beautiful, nicely packaged system that is your flagship product. That doesn't mean it's the only thing that you sell and you should be shoving that down everyone's throat, but it's like your golden goose that you should love to present to people because it shows your perceived value is higher than everybody else and you're not just a generic agency like everyone else. So these are ways that you can differentiate your agency and your solutions from other people. Of course, there's way more strategies that I use that I would love to teach you. You can find a lot of them inside of my courses and my communities. So like I mentioned at the start, if you do want to learn more from me, then the first link in the description will take you to my school community where you can apply and you can learn directly on how to start and scale an AI automation agency and learn from myself. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, but I look forward to meeting with you. Take care.